What if being polite didn't require any effort at all? Not because people are better behaved, but because the environment around you is designed to make the right move the only move. Japan has 13 systems built into everyday life, from train platforms to public bathrooms to restaurant entrances, that remove the decision entirely. You don't have to think about etiquette because the infrastructure already made the choice. Once you see how these things work, the idea of leaving it up to people's manners starts to sound pretty inefficient. Before we continue, hit subscribe so you never miss the latest updates. Number 1, Suica and Pasmo cards that replace cash, tickets, and transit passes. You walk into a Tokyo train station with no yen, no ticket, and no clue what the fare is. In most countries, that's a problem. Here, you just tap your card and walk through. Suica and Pasmo are IC cards that use near-field communication to handle the fare automatically. When you tap in, the card logs your starting point. When you tap out at the other end, it calculates what you owe and deducts it. You never look up a price, you never do the math, and you never slow down at the gate. That matters more than it sounds because a busy Tokyo station moves hundreds of thousands of people a day, and every person stopping to count coins or buy a paper ticket creates a bottleneck that backs up the whole system. The tap takes under a second. The card also works at convenience stores, vending machines, taxis, and lockers, so it's not just a transit pass. The same logic runs through all of it. Remove the decision from the person and put it in the hardware. Number 2, heated toilet seats with bidet functions. Cold toilet seats in winter are just one of those things most of the world accepts without question. Japan decided that wasn't good enough and built a toilet that handles it automatically. The Japanese washlet heats the seat to a preset temperature the moment a sensor detects you sitting down, so there's no switch to flip and no waiting. The bidet function works the same way. Rear wash, front wash, adjustable water pressure, adjustable water temperature, and a dryer, all controlled from a single panel mounted on the side of the toilet. No separate fixture, no manual adjustment, no guesswork. Bidets exist in other countries, but they're usually a separate unit you have to operate yourself. Japan built all of it into one device with standardized controls across manufacturers, so the same symbols mean the same thing regardless of which toilet you're using. Some models also open the lid automatically when you walk in and close it when you leave, which removes the toilet lid debate entirely. Nobody decides. The sensor decides. Number 3, convenience stores that handle dozens of everyday errands. Pay a bill, print a document, pick up a prescription, buy a hot meal, withdraw cash, and mail a package. In most cities, that's 6 trips. In Japan, it's 1, and the store is probably less than a 5-minute walk away. Japanese convenience stores aren't retail shops in the way you're used to. Near the entrance, there's a touchscreen kiosk that handles utility bill payments, concert ticket purchases, government form submissions, printing, copying, and scanning, all without talking to anyone. The ATM next to it accepts international cards. The hot food counter runs all day with fried chicken, steamed buns, and rice bowls kept at temperature. Some locations also take parcel drop-offs and pickups for courier services, so you don't need a post office either. What makes this work isn't any one of those services on its own. It's that all of them sit in the same building, open around the clock, within walking distance of almost everywhere in urban Japan. The store didn't get more convenient. It became infrastructure. Number 4, Takuhaiban luggage forwarding services. Landing at a Japanese airport with 2 large suitcases and a bullet train to catch sounds stressful. It's not, because you don't have to carry the bags. Takuhaiban is a luggage forwarding service where you drop your bags at the airport counter, your hotel, or convenience store, fill out a slip with your destination, and the bags show up there the next day. You board the train with nothing in your hands. The courier network runs on the same kind of tight scheduling as the trains themselves, so you pick a delivery window and the bags arrive in it. Hotels accept them on your behalf even before you check in, so there's no timing problem on that end either. The friction this removes is easy to underestimate if you haven't tried navigating a packed commuter train with a full-size suitcase. There's no space for oversized bags, and blocking a doorway in a crowded car carries real social weight. Taku Haiban doesn't solve that problem. It just makes the whole situation not happen. Number 5, coin lockers at train stations and shopping centers. You've got a few hours to kill between trains in a bag you don't want to haul around the whole time. Most cities just leave that problem with you. Japanese train stations put a bank of lockers right there on the concourse, in sizes that go from small enough for a laptop bag all the way up to a full 28-inch suitcase. They're not just at the big stations either. Smaller stations, shopping centers, airports, tourist sites, most of them have lockers too. And you don't even need coins because they accept IC cards like Suica. Newer systems give you a printed receipt with a QR code when you pay, so you retrieve your bag with the code rather than a key. The design is practical in a specific way. One shared payment terminal covers a whole bank of lockers instead of building a separate one into every door, which keeps the whole unit compact. You store the bag, get the code, and walk away. No hotel desk, no asking a stranger, no social negotiation of any kind. Number 6, train platform queue markings for orderly boarding. Without any structure, a crowd of people trying to board the same train defaults pretty fast to whoever pushes hardest, getting on first. Japan painted lines on the platform floor, and that problem mostly went away. The markings are painted or tiled directly into the platform surface and show exactly where each train door will stop, with 2 lines branching away from each door position, so passengers queue on either side, and people exiting the train walk straight through the gap in the middle. They're not suggestions. The social expectation is that you join the back of the line, and almost everyone does. On platforms where more than one train type stops, the markings use different colors or labels so you know which queue is yours before the train even pulls in. What the paint actually does is convert a crowd into a queue before the train arrives, so boarding starts in an organized state rather than a scramble. Nobody enforces it. Nobody has to, because cutting the line means visibly stepping around a physical marker that everyone else is following. Number 7, platform screen doors at busy rail stations. Queue markings tell you where to stand. Platform screen doors remove the option of standing anywhere else. At busy stations across Japan, solid barriers run the full length of the platform with doors built into them that stay locked until the train stops and lines up correctly. The safety function is obvious, but the operational effect is what makes these worth paying attention to. Because the barrier handles the gap between passengers and the track automatically, the train can pull in faster. The driver doesn't need to slow down early to account for anyone too close to the edge. On lines running trains every 2 to 3 minutes, that adds up fast across a full day of service. When the train stops and the driver opens the train doors, the platform screen doors open at exactly the same time. When the train doors close, the platform doors close. No passenger operates anything, and no staff member walks the platform to check the edge before departure. Other countries handle this with announcements and painted warning lines. Japan built a door. Number 8, public restroom privacy sound machines. Public restrooms create a specific kind of social anxiety, and most countries just leave it there. Japan built a small electronic device mounted inside the stall that plays the sound of flushing water when you press a button, covering whatever sounds you don't want the person in the next stall to hear. It's called the Otohaima, which translates roughly to sound princess. You press the button, it plays a convincing flush sound at a volume that actually works, and it runs for as long as you need it. Some models start automatically when you sit down. The reason this exists isn't just comfort. Before the Otoheim, people were flushing repeatedly to mask sounds, burning several gallons of water per visit across millions of daily restroom uses. The device cost less to install than the water savings it recovered, so the economics worked out quickly. What Japan did was take an embarrassing workaround that wasted a lot of water and replace it with a cheap electronic alternative. The machine absorbed the awkwardness, so the person using the stall doesn't have to. Number 9, plastic food displays outside restaurants. Standing outside a restaurant when you can't read the menu is genuinely paralyzing. You don't know what the food looks like, what it costs, or what you're committing to. Japan fixed that by putting the entire menu in the window in 3 dimensions. Shokuhin Sampuru are hyper-realistic food models displayed in glass cases right at the entrance. Not photos, not drawings, actual sculpted and painted resin or wax models of every dish at real size with the price sitting right next to each one. A bowl of ramen shows the exact color of the broth, the texture of the noodles, and a sliced egg positioned at the angle it'd actually sit in the bowl. Specialized craftspeople build these, and a single piece can take hours to get right. The practical effect is that you don't need to speak the language, ask anyone, or guess. You look at the case, point at what you want, and walk in knowing exactly what's coming. No uncertainty, no surprises. Number 10. Vending machines with hot and cold drinks everywhere. Japan has roughly 1 vending machine for every 23 people. So in most urban areas, you're never more than a minute's walk from one. That density is unusual on its own, but the machine itself is what's actually worth paying attention to. A single unit sells both hot and cold drinks at the same time, with the temperature displayed right on the selection button so you know what you're getting before you press anything. The inside splits into 2 separate chambers, one that cools and one that heats, running continuously so every drink sits at the right temperature whenever you show up. The selection also rotates with the seasons. Hot options take up more of the machine in winter, cold drinks dominate in summer, and the operator adjusts the split based on what people actually want at that time of year. Newer machines take IC cards, QR code payments, and some show calorie counts on a touchscreen. You don't find a cafe, wait in a line, or talk to anyone. The machine is just there, stocked and ready. Number 11. Parcel redelivery scheduling systems. Missing a delivery in most countries means calling a phone number, explaining yourself to someone, and waiting in a 4-hour window with no real guarantee. Japan replaced all of that with a slip of paper and a QR code. When a courier can't reach you, they leave a notification slip with a tracking number on it. You scan it or type the number into the courier's app, and it shows you every available redelivery window, including same-day slots if any are open. You pick a 2-hour window, confirm it, and that's it. The driver's route updates automatically to match. Major courier networks run this across their full systems, so it works the same way whether the package is a small envelope or something large enough to need 2 people to carry it. If none of the windows work, you can redirect the package to a nearby convenience store and collect it whenever you want. The courier companies built this because every failed delivery attempt cost them a truck trip. Fewer failed deliveries means lower operating costs, so the scheduling system paid for itself. Number 12. Tactile paving for visually impaired pedestrians. Most cities put an audio signal at a crosswalk and call it done. Japan embedded a navigation system directly into the ground. It works through 2 tile patterns. Raised parallel lines mean keep going, you're on a clear path. Raised dots mean stop and pay attention because there's a platform edge, a stairway, or an intersection right there. That's the whole language, 2 symbols. And between them, they can guide someone from a station entrance, through the concourse, and all the way to the exact spot where the train doors open. The tiles are yellow, so they're visible against surrounding surfaces, and they're installed at a consistent height so a cane or foot picks them up reliably. The same dot pattern at a platform in Osaka means the same thing as the one in Sapporo, because the system is standardized nationwide, not left to individual cities or transit operators to interpret differently. No device, no signal, no person to ask. The information sits on the floor, and it doesn't turn off. Number 13. Highly punctual public transportation that runs like clockwork. Everything else on this list, the IC cards, the lockers, the luggage forwarding, the platform markings, all of it runs on one assumption: the train shows up when it's supposed to. Japanese rail punctuality isn't a cultural habit. It's what comes out the other end of a system built around automated speed controls, centralized dispatch monitoring, and precise management of how long trains sit at each platform. Schedules are engineered with buffer time built into each leg, so small variations don't stack up into bigger ones. Drivers train to stop within a specific centimeter range of the platform marker because even that matters. A delay of 5 minutes gets formally logged and publicly reported. Some operators issue written apology notices for a single minute. That precision is also what makes the frequency possible. On busy urban loops, trains run every 2 to 3 minutes during peak hours, and that only works because every train's position and timing gets tracked and adjusted continuously. If the schedule slipped, the trains couldn't run that close together safely. The punctuality isn't a personality trait, it's the output of the infrastructure. Every system on this list does the same thing. It takes a moment where doing the right thing normally requires effort, awareness, or a bit of social courage, and it replaces that with a physical object that makes the right behavior automatic. The cue markings, the screen doors, the sound machine, the tactile tiles, none of them ask anything of you. The interesting question isn't why Japan built all of this. It's why everywhere else decided manners were enough and didn't bother with the hardware. These 13 systems aren't cultural quirks. They're solutions to problems every crowded city has. Japan just built the machines. That's it for today. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more updates you won't want to miss.